Well, if you'd like a copy of these state high school championships put on by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, just log on to their website at www.nhsbf.com. Follow the prompts and you can pick up a DVD copy of these state championships. Back at Sun Valley Lanes, I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us here as we get set to bring you the girls Class B state championship between the Waverly Vikings, who are 7-1 on the year, and the Minute Maids of Lexington. Here's a look at the starting lineup and the team for Waverly, led by head coach Michelle Kelly. Brianna Gable is a junior. Alexis Marchand is a senior. Then three other juniors in Vanscoy, Gerlach, and Welling. And Emma Gruby is a sophomore. That's a look at Waverly. For the Lexington Minute Maids, they're 8-0 on the year, led by Mandy Limcooler. Addie Keith and Hannah Wood, as well as Tammy Limcooler, are freshmen. The juniors, Rebecca Limcooler, Kaylee English, and Catherine Monte is a junior. So ready to go here in this Class B state championship. We've crowned two already here this morning. Waverly, their fifth appearance here in 7 years in this televised championship. They won the title back in 2014, knocking off Grand Island Northwest. Starting it off for Waverly. That's Brianna Gable. Leaves a 3-10 split on the right-hand lane. And Catherine Monte. .210 left for Monte. Gable to convert on that left-hand lane, slides by the 3-pin. Have some jitters here early on, I think, in this Class B championship. A couple of teams both played really well yesterday. Waverly knocking off Holdridge and Seward to get here to the championship. Lexington with wins over Gretna and Grand Island Northwest. Takes the 2 off of the 8, so a couple of opens to open up. On the left-hand lane, Alexis Marchand. She's a senior, been to the state finals previously. Good shot, leaves a high 4-pin. On the right-hand lane, Rebecca Limcooler.
Coach calls her the silent leader of the team. Those jitters are...
Oh yeah, you're gonna...
They'll get worked out. It'll be okay.
Early on, they're gonna be there, no doubt. Good cover here on the spare conversion, and that gives Waverly their first mark of the match. Limcooler, the junior. Here's Kennedy Vanscoy, the junior, crosses over.
Kennedy comes from a bowling family. She's got grandparents who bowled their whole lives.
Hannah Wood, the freshman, has a 4.0 GPA. Comes in high and leaves the 4.7. So still looking for the first mark is Lexington. And Waverly. Vanscoy doesn't quite get back to pick up the spare. Can even it up with the spare here. We saw this earlier today too. First game, I think the eventual champion ended up shooting 87 in the first game. Just really struggled to get out the gate, to shake the nerves, get used to the environment, used to the lights.
It's definitely a different setup, a different environment to be in, where suddenly there's not as much noise. You're not seeing other balls go down the lanes in your periphery the way that you're used to, and you're just sort of acutely aware of the fact that all eyes are on you.
That's right.
So it takes a little bit to adjust to that and kind of put that out of your mind.
Here's Val Gerlach. Gerlach.
She's another one carrying a 4.0 GPA on her team. Strong academics on this.
1, 2, 4, 7 left here. Nice conversion. That puts Waverly with their second mark here in game number 1. Kaylee English still trying to get her team on the board and does take it off the wall and get the 10-pin out. First mark for Lexington, and an important one to not fall 20 behind here early on. Here's Chloe Welling, the lefty. Terrific game for Welling. You can see how well she throws the ball. Welling in her junior year with the big strike, and Waverly now on top by 20. Right back comes Tammy Limkula.
I think the nerves are gone.
Yep. A couple strikes will do it right away. So the anchor bowlers for both teams with strikes. Well, I told you about Waverly. Lexington in their third TV finals appearance. They won the previous 2 times they've been here. So they are a perfect 2-0 in these televised championships. Won it back in 2007 against Alliance and won it in 2009 against Seward. To get here, they knocked off the number 2 seed. That was Grand Island Northwest.
Waverly has a strong bowling program at their high school. They've got 27 members on their team. 4 years ago, they only had 6 varsity players, but this year, the past several years, they've spent a lot of time recruiting. Waverly High School is very supportive. They've put information out on social media, on their announcements in the school. They hang posters, and like I said, they've pulled it up to 27 members on their team, so they're able to field 2 varsity teams and 2 JV teams, 1 boys varsity and 2 boys junior varsity, and same thing on the girls side. So really a team and a program that has been growing over the last several years.
Did not quite get the 7-pin out. Still an 11-pin lead for Waverly. Lexington can put a little pressure on here with a mark by Rebecca Limkula. Needs to hook. It does. Trips that 7 out. It's a big shot. Need to answer here. And a good cover. Marshawn with the spare, and high fives all the way around from her teammates. Hannah Wood back up. Hannah Wood. Second strike of game number 1 for Lexington.
And you see that Lexington team up on their feet when they see that. Coach talked about how they're fired up every time that they're on the lanes. They really chip in equally to their success, and they support each other and just really are there for each other in these big matches like this.
And a good cover there for Waverly. Vikings hold on to that 10-pin lead. The 3 count here from Kaylee English didn't hurt if she can come back and pick it up. So it's on a strike, and she does. That's a big spare in the 9th frame for Lexington. Still 10 down. Back up is Val Gerlach.
Gerlach just started bowling this 2016 season. She's pretty new at this, and here she is in her representing her school in the championship match.
What a great shot. Flushed it, keeps that 10-pin lead. Left-hand lane, Tammy Limkula. So put some pressure on. Limkula needs to double. 10 down. She struck the first time she was up and does it again. Back-to-back strikes for Limkula.
Chloe Welling was on the all-tournament team in the Star City tournament and the Lynx in the Class B shootout. Didn't like that one.
Needs another one, crosses over. So really important here for this spare conversion. Chloe Welling, a spare here and good count will give Waverly game number 1. Skids and a nice solid shot there for Welling. So the spare gives a 152 for Lexington in game number 1.
As long as Waverly can keep it on the lane here,
That's exactly
they'll
what it
be
is.
okay.
You need 1 pin. 1 pin, and they take it, and they got it. So game number 1 goes to the Vikings. Finished the year 7-1 on the year. Just a really solid team. 160 to 152, and they lead it 1 game to none in this best-of-5 Baker format.
I asked the coach of Lexington what he was going to talk to his girls about as they prepare to bowl on TV. And he actually has TV bowling experience himself, and so he had the opportunity to just kind of share with them what he knows about bowling on TV and kind of prepare them for what to expect in a match like this so that they wouldn't be surprised by any of the sort of newness of bowling on TV.
Yeah. Out of trouble there. A good start for Catherine Monti. She's a junior.
Catherine's planning on attending UNO when she graduates and wants to major in geology.
This Lexington team bowls out of strike and spare lanes. Brad Larson, the proprietor. So many of these proprietors do such a great job with high school bowling and for high school bowling.
Absolutely, giving up time on the lanes for these kids to come in and practice. Coach talked about when they're at strike and spare in Lexington, they practice about 2 hours each time, and they really work on stances, they work on spares, hitting the pocket, hand placement, a lot of fundamental work to improve their game.
Ooh, just slides by. So an early opening for both teams here in the first frame. Rebecca Limkulo crosses over.
Limkuler's high game is a 233, which she bowled at that strike and spare bowl in Lexington.
There are 4 teams with 2 titles in Class B. Alliance, Seward, Hastings, and this Lexington team have previously won 2 state championships. Class B lead is held by Pius X. Pius X has 4 girls Class B titles. There's Pius moving up to Class A this year. Finished 4th in the Class A running at state. So we'll see the Class A finals coming up in just a moment. A terrific Grand Island team going for a title. On the right-hand lane, here's Kennedy Van Scoy. Good shot by Van Scoy. 4-pin was standing, but the 5 tripped over and took it out. First mark of this second game for the Vikings. Hannah Wood trying to answer with a mark, and just off the mark. 3 consecutive opens to open game number 2.
Val Gerlach here for Waverly is also on the varsity softball team and the varsity track team and participates in the yearbook, and great shot from her right there.
Big strike, her second strike. In fact, she has yet to open. She's gone 6 spare, strike in her 3 shots.
It's so helpful and critical to have a teammate that you can count on like that, to be consistent and to be somebody who's going to fill frames for you.
Oh, what a shot. That's a rip 9-pin, just a pocket shot. You see Welling with the chuckle.
Kaylee English for Lexington is a junior, is planning on attending UNK in the fall after she graduates next year, and is planning to major in early education.
Waverly has opened up a 20-pin, and a spare here makes it a 30-pin advantage. 66-36 through 4. 30 pins. Waverly is on top. Deep breath. Like the pre-shot routine here of the freshman Tammy Lim-Cooler. A nice shot. She's gone 2 strikes and a spare in her 3 previous shots. Of course, she had 2 balls in the 10th last game. Strike, strike, and a 9 spare to fill the 10th.
Watch her follow through on her next shot. She does a really nice job of holding her follow through until that ball hits the pins, really having a solid release and staying there at the line until her ball gets all the way down to the pins.
And a good cover, so the 2 teams will switch sides here in game number 2, and when they do that, we'll tell you that you can watch NAT Sports anytime, anywhere. Download the free NET Nebraska app today. You can watch college player profiles, full-length episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up, live web streams. There's a lot of content if you just download the app, search for NET Nebraska in the App Store, or you can download it free at netnebraska.org/apps. So back half here of game number 2. Waverly in control here in this second. Up by 30. They already lead at 1-0. Vikings tried to add to that lead. Here's the shot by Emma Gruby. Gruby, with her first shot of the match, comes in high, leaves the 6-pin. Shot here by Addie Keith, and Addie Keith rattles them and leaves the 2-5.
Emma Grube, looking to spare for Waverly here, is also a golf athlete who lettered on the golf team this last year as a sophomore.
And Gruby covers it up. Look at spare for Waverly. 4 consecutive marks for the Vikings. And Lexington just struggling to keep pace. On the left-hand lane now for Waverly is Alexis Marchad, who has marked twice and opened once in the 3 frames she's been up. This is the 4th frame, comes in high and ugh. That's not the one you want to leave.
Not at all. Alexis is a senior this year, carrying a 127 average. She's planning on attending Southeast Community College in Lincoln in the fall and is going to major in business administration.
through 7 for Waverly. An important spare here to get back into it, and they do. That's a big conversion.
A little bit of a tricky one to make. That was a solid cover on that one.
Down by 40 pins. They needed that badly. That'll pick 3 off the right side. So up on the right-hand lane, here comes Hannah Wood, who's going to try to cut into that deficit some. Lexington head coach Mandy Lim-Cooler, assistant coach Christian Schwartz. A really solid team here. An undefeated season. Good count there, but not a spare conversion on the 8-pin count. They can cut this down to a 20-pin lead if they can make a spare here and put a mark on top of it. Needs some luck. Did not quite get the 7-pin out. Thought the head pin was going to go into the wall and come back and clear that, but it did not. And they still see a 31-pin deficit here with just 2 left. Comes in high as well.
I spent some time yesterday talking with Waverly's coaches, Coach Michelle and Coach Whitney, and they both were so passionate about their players. They call them my girls. They just are so proud of them, and you could just hear the emotion in their voices. They were talking about the work that these girls put in. She talked about how she's so proud of the way that they bowl as a team, and they support each other, and they really, truly respect one another's differences. They're going to foul there on Lexington. But they don't complain. They just really trust each other. And she said that something that she's so appreciative of is not only the athletic skill that these girls bring, but also the maturity that they bring. And you could just, like I said, you could just hear the emotion in her voice as she talked about her team and how proud she is of them.
Great shot, leave the high 6-pin for the lefty. Welling averages 175. She has a future if she would like to continue to bowl, no doubt about that. She's currently still undecided on what she'll do next year if she wants to bowl at the next level, but there will be interest. Lefty with that kind of game?
Absolutely. Those lefties.
Nice cover. Waverly's going to take this second game as well and have a commanding 2-0 lead here in this best of 5.
You talk about the collegiate interest that some of these players might have. There are currently 5 NCAA schools in or bordering Nebraska that offer bowling, and 15 NAIA schools in or bordering Nebraska that offer bowling. So there's a lot of opportunity locally and just, within a few hundred miles of Nebraska for these girls to continue to bowl at the collegiate level if they want to.
146-103, the final there in game number 2. So Waverly in control here, up 2-0 in the best of 5, looking for that school's second state title. They would join the likes of Alliance, Seward, Lexington, Hastings if they could capture number 2. This will be a new champion this year. Pius is the defending champ here in Class B. In fact, the 3-time defending champion, Pius Thunderbolts. They won it in 15, 16, and 17. They had won 4 of the last 6. As I said earlier, moved to Class A. It's been Waverly right along with Pius these last few years. Waverly has been in the last, either Pius or Waverly has been in the last 7 TV finals, one or the other. Waverly here again this year. 5th appearance in 7 years for the Vikings.
Catherine Monty here for Lexington. Participated in Nebraska Motocross Association. She placed 4th overall. It was her first year racing, but something that she's gotten involved in and has been pretty successful at.
It's a nice spare by Gruby to start it off. It's exactly what you want to do when you have the lead and you know the other team is feeling the pressure in a must-win situation. Get out to the early advantage. Put some pressure on your opponent. See how they respond, and the response from Catherine Monty was very good.
Absolutely. This is, bowling is a sport where there's not really an offense or a defense, right? So when the other team is doing well, the best thing that you can do is just continue to put pressure on them and push them to beat you, right? You don't want to give it to them.
Came in a little high on the shot by Addie Keith, or check that was Brianna Gable.
Brianna Gable in 2016 was first team all-conference. She was on the Class B shootout all-tournament team and was a district champion. Also strong academically. She carries a 4.0 GPA and has an academic letter.
Just a terrific follow-through. Nice, solid game by Brianna Gable. Covers the spare. Back-to-back for Waverly to open game number 3. That's got to finish, and it won't. And the open opens the door for Waverly to take a 10-pin lead.
Kennedy Von Skoy up for Waverly is another one carrying a 4.0 GPA and was academic all-conference.
I saw Michelle Kelly said that this team carries a combined 3.65 GPA.
With such a large team, too, she said that they practice at Hollywood Bowl here in Lincoln. And with so many players and so many other activities that they are participating in, they have a Tuesday, Thursday practice, but also a late night practice Mondays and Wednesdays that some kids come to. So everybody comes 2 days a week, but she said one of the things that she often hears from the staff over at Hollywood Bowl is that there's not a day that goes by that someone from the Waverly team isn't there practicing. So they all just love to bowl, love to get better, and really work hard to put the time in to improve their games.
Oh, and you set the culture of, excellence, and you set the culture that this is the expectation to make it here to state. There's some sacrifice and commitment that has to go along with that outcome, and you're seeing that in this Vikings team.
Absolutely.
Back up now on that left-hand lane is Val Gerlach. She has a nice game. Good reaction, late reaction, and Gerlach has been terrific. She has struck 3 times here in these 3 games. Only one open.
Kaylee English here for Lexington. One of the things that their coach talked to me about is that they don't all go to school together. These are girls coming from 3 districts that come together to bowl in this one team together, and so they've had to build a community amongst themselves since they don't have that common school community to fall back on together, and he's been really proud of the way that they've been able to come together.
That reacts better. Good shot. And a big one.
Coach Mandy said Tammy is one who comes in clutch, and she definitely showed it right there.
Best thing Waverly can do right now is just stay clean, right? Continue to put the pressure on, and as I say that, of course.
Jinxed it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Apologize, Chloe. 86 now through 5, so a bit of an opening here for Lexington with the strike in the 5th. If they can throw a double on that, they're going to be right back in this match. On the left-hand lane, Addie Keith, a freshman. Leaves the 1-2. We talked about it before. You mentioned about Hollywood Lanes is the home bowling center for these Waverly Vikings. Bob Davis, the proprietor there, just does a terrific job. He hosted the Class A state tournament yesterday before qualifying for these final 2. Opens his center to all these high school bowlers and continues to support this sport.
That's something as we're pushing more and more for bowling to be recognized by the NSAA that people may not know is the cost on this. You don't have to build a facility. You don't have to provide practice facilities at the school. Proprietors of the local bowling alleys are willing and often do pitch in the time and the hours to have kids come and practice,
right,
oftentimes at no expense to the team. And so it's a definite community builder, but also a reason why we want the NSAA to improve bowling as a high school sport here in the state of Nebraska.
So Gable will be up in the right-hand lane. 5 marks in 6 frames for Waverly. Extended that lead to 20. Just a bit light. Some work left for the Vikings there. This is an ugly one here. So 94 through 7 frames. A spare here would give them a 30-pin lead and just chops the 3 off the 5.
A tricky spare to make because it's easy to either chop the 7-pin or chop the 5-pin. Hannah Wood for Lexington is another one carrying a 4.0 GPA. She loves animals and is set on being a vet.
Great ball. Panskoy flushes it. And that was an important shot after the open. And now an even more important spare conversion here for Hannah Wood. Needs this to stay in it, and solid for Hannah Wood.
Val Gerlach here for Waverly is called the team hype man. She's one who keeps everybody motivated and pumped up.
Leaves the bucket on the left-hand side. It's a count here. Good count. A strike would be even better. Get that
Get out of there.
Boy, it slid that 10 off its spot. Pin setter did pick it up. I was a bit surprised to see how far that slid and was still picked up. So 5-10 split here for Lexington, and they're almost in a must-make situation here.
Is it a 5-10 or a 9.5?
Yeah, 5-9. That's right. 5-9.5. That sounds like me. And I'm going to stick with the half. Okay.
Kaylee here for Lexington is the youngest of 3 children, but the first one to bowl competitively and is able to convert that spare. But also enjoys hunting and fishing with her family.
Good count here will do it for Waverly. They'll win a state title. That might have done it, but not quite yet. Actually, that does do it. That was enough. That's all they needed. Good count there. And Waverly will win its second state championship. Won it back in 2014 against Grand Island Northwest, and they pick it up this year in the win over Lexington.
And, you know, Lexington is a young team. They've got 3 freshmen, 3 juniors, and so I would imagine they're going to be back again.
Yeah. Won't quite make it back, and instead they will finish with a 130. Waverly will wrap it up here, and it will be Alexis Marchand stepping in to throw the final shot that will deliver a state championship to the Vikings. And there it is. 167 the final for Waverly, and they sweep Lexington. 160, 146, 167. Second state championship for the Vikings. Congratulations to head coach Michelle Kelly and the rest of the Waverly Vikings when we come back. Pen and trophy presentations right here at Sun Valley Lane.
Talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska is the only state in the nation served entirely by public power electric utilities? Community-owned utilities mean Nebraskans are working for Nebraskans. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities are governed by locally elected or appointed boards and councils? This means you have a voice in the decisions made by your local utility. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that over 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Have you ever wondered what happens to soybeans after they're harvested? Every year, soybean farmers invest a portion of their soybean revenue to fund research, marketing, and promotion, which is called the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. 80% of the harvested soybeans are crushed into soybean meal that's used to feed poultry and livestock. The other 20% is made into soybean oil that's used for cooking oil and biodiesel. To learn more about the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, nebraskasoybeans.org.
Welcome back at Sun Valley Lanes. The final Waverly in 3, 160, 145, and 167. They are your state champs, and now with the champs, here's Carla.
Thanks, Larry. Chloe, congratulations. Talk to me about what your team focused on this year to prepare for the state championship.
We really focused on mental game, making sure that we were prepared for any kind of intense situation just like this. We really wanted to be here, and so we just focused a lot on being prepared for anything, mental games, and really working on making sure we can get our spares. So it was really fun.
Worked out well for you. Congratulations. And Coach, you spoke yesterday with so much emotion about this team. You're so proud of them. Tell me what it means to you to win this championship with this group of girls.
Well, they did it. They worked hard. They're at the bowling alley every day. We don't practice. They are working on their spares. They practice like they want to play mental game. They're getting their spares, they're getting their strikes, and they're working on their form. And they have each other's backs.
Congratulations. Larry, back to you.
All right, thanks very much. Congrats once again. The Viking state champs in Class B for the second time. They won it in 2014 and now add a title in 2017 to the resume. Let's go down to our public address announcer with the presentation of pins and trophies.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about another nice round of applause for our two finalists? And now for your awards presentation. Your Class B girls runner-up, the Lexington Minute Maids. Head coach Mandy Lemkuhler and Christian Schwartz. Addie Keith. Hannah Wood. Rebecca Lemkuhler. Kaylee English. Tammy Lemkuhler. Catherine Monty. Ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the Lexington Minute Maids, your Class B girls runner-up. Now, here is your 2017 Class C Girls Champions, the Waverly Vikings. Head coach Michelle Kelly, assistant coach Whitney Larison. Brianna Gable. Alexis Marchand. Kennedy Van Scoy. Val Gerlach. Chloe Welling. Emma Gruby. Ladies, here is your championship trophy. Congratulations to your 2017 Class B Girls Champions, the Waverly Vikings. This concludes the award presentation for Class B.
So congratulations to Waverly, the Class B state champs. When we come back, Class A is just ahead. It's a good one. Fremont and Grand Island back for the second year looking for a state title. We'll have that when we come back on NET Sports.
The values that Methodists bring is family.
It's important going through school that you're not just a number, that you're a face and that you're a name to a teacher. And so I loved the small class sizes.
What it means to me is that I found my foundation where I can build on my passion and I can embrace something new in my life. It is a place where I know that I'm supposed to be.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that over 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
It's all-day fun on NET Kids. Starting January 1st, all your favorite shows are staying the same, but they have new times. Visit our website or call 800-634-6788 for a program schedule. Same great shows all day long on NET.
You're watching NET Television.
Back at Sun Valley Lanes here in Lincoln, Nebraska for the Class A Girls Showdown. I want to remind you, if you'd like a copy or a DVD of these state high school bowling championships, just log on to our website at nhsbf.com, follow the prompts, and you can order a DVD. We've got a good one here in Class A. There's two of the top teams that have been that way throughout the year in Class A girls action, the Fremont Tigers and the Grand Island Wood River Islanders. Here's a look at Trevor Mueller's squad from Fremont. Hannah Bates and Marilyn Lewis are both sophomores. Caitlin Hill is a freshman. Alexis Mueller is a senior. And Haley Sickles is a freshman. That's a look at Fremont. On the Grand Island Wood River side, Andrea Rhodes is a junior. Lakota Erbauer, Grace Cadwalder, Kaylee Rapp, Audie Ernest, and Brittany Baker. That's the lineup for the Islanders of Grand Island. When we come back, we'll have the showdown between Grand Island and Fremont for the Class A title. Right here from Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln.
Talk about public power for a second. Nebraska's electric utilities use a diverse mix of fuel resources to generate electricity. Wind, water, coal, nuclear, natural gas, solar, and methane. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities pay more than $100 million to communities they serve each year? Those dollars stay local, helping to empower our hometowns. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that over 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
You can watch NET Sports anytime, anywhere. Download the free NET Nebraska app today. You can watch college player profiles, full-length web episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up, live web streams. There's so much more. Just search for NET Nebraska in the App Store or download free at netnebraska.com. Ready to go here in this Class A championship. It'll be the Fremont Tigers on the left lane, the Grand Island Wood River Islanders on the right lane. Starting it off is Hannah Bates for the Tigers. Hannah averages 171, just a sophomore. Comes up a bit high. So now on the right lane, Andrea Rhodes with the shot. That is a bit light. Leaves the 2-4-5, so some work to do. And apparently a foul on Fremont on the first shot. So the second shot, she gets 8, so a foul and 8 for Fremont. So they will open up with an open. Grand Island an opportunity here with Andrea Rhodes to take an early lead if she can convert the spare. Needs to skid, it does, and just gets the 5 out. Grand Island, of course, was in this spot last year. This is their 3rd consecutive trip here in these championship finals. Fremont, 2nd trip to the championships, or at least the final match of the championship. They won the title back in 2009 over Lincoln Southeast. Here is Lakota Erbauer, crosses over. Ooh, did not get a good break there. 6-7 remains, tough split.
Marilyn Lewis here for Fremont talked about how bowling is a great way for her to get scholarships. A lot of people don't know that athletic scholarships are available, even if you're not going to be a collegiate athlete. But at the high school level, a lot of tournaments that high school players compete in result in scholarship money that they can use for whatever university they choose to go to, whether they're going to bowl at that university or not.
Bit of a slow start for both of these teams. 4 frames bowled between the two, 3 opens. See if Lexus Mueller can do something as she crosses over. Leaves the 6-10. Now on the right-hand lane is Grace Cadwalder. She is a co-captain, senior on this team. Averages 171, needs that to react. It does, not quite enough, but gets good carry and leaves just 1. Here's Mueller trying to convert the spare. Skid and covers it. First spare for the Tigers here in the championship match.
Grace Cadwalder, a senior who's heading to Chadron State College in the fall, planning on majoring in accounting.
Nice, solid conversion there for Cadwalder. Here's Caitlin Hill. Good shot by Hill. 10 in the pit for the Tigers. Right lane quickly is Kaylee Rapp. She wastes no time. I remember that from last year.
Yes.
She is up and ready to go every time. And Rapp breaks down 10. Kaylee Sickles. Some work to do there. With the 2-5-7.
A couple different options for how to pick that spare up. She could go after the 2-5 and hope that the 2 connects with that 7 pin, or she could try to hit the left side of that 2 pin to get the 2 pin to hit the 5 pin and then the ball to take out the 7 pin.
Audie Ernest with the strike. And Audie doubles up for Grand Island, who's had a nice first 5 frames. Just 1 open, that split. And she does the previous way, and that's the danger of going to the outside. You might wrap it around that 7 pin. You'd almost rather pick it up like the baby split and take that.
Let the ball do the work for that 7 pin.
Absolutely. So the flip sides, 3 opens for Fremont in the first 5 frames, gives a big lead to Grand Island through 5 frames.
Grand Island working on a double here, hoping that they can make it 3 with Andrea Rhodes.
Rhodes gets the carry. That looked like it was coming in a bit light, but she carries off the wall. The 1-2 left. And now Lakota Erbauer with an opportunity to make it 4 in a row for Grand Island. That crosses. 1-3-6 still remain. That 3-bagger by Grand Island gives them nearly a 40-pin lead. Good cover.
Looks like she found her spot on that one. If she could throw it in that same spot next time she's on lane 28, she could get some good carry.
Here's John Lucido. You saw the commissioner of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation as Lakota misses those. Longtime commissioner for the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation right there. Just does a terrific job promoting bowling, not only at the junior level, but the high school level. He's so active and involved across the industry on both a local and national level. And his staff here at Sun Valley Lanes have run these championships for 16 years and really made these bowlers feel special and creating an environment for them that is like an arena finals. They do the work overnight. They come in and work all night to set the lanes up, to put the bleachers in, pull out their sit-tee areas, make it appropriate for the bowlers. Just the work that his staff does to make this special for high school bowling is remarkable.
And I don't know how many other states can say that they treat a high school championship, a high school bowling championship like this, air it on TV and set it up arena style, and really a unique situation. Pretty cool for them.
For so many years, this was the only televised arena style finals in the country. And we don't even have a sanctioned sport. Whereas you look at other states, 30 other states across the United States have sanctioned high school bowling as a high school sport within their governing body. The NSAA has not done that yet. Athletic director is currently considering that in a January proposal, but
need lots of voices to lend their support for that.
Right.
As that proposal goes before the legislative districts next month.
A strike by Fremont. They have an opportunity to double up here. A bit high.
Kaylee Rapp, a senior, 2-time junior gold qualifier, and an NHSBF state champ and state runner-up also.
All of a sudden, this just tightened up because Grand Island has gone open, 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 3 straight frames in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and oh, that hurts. Had an opportunity there to make it basically an even game going into the 10th, and now really all Grand Island is going to have to do is mark the 10th frame to win it. Crossed over, that's exactly what they needed.
Audie Ernest, another 2-time junior gold qualifier.
So now the best that Fremont can do is 157. Grand Island already with 152. So 5 pins by Audie, and that will close it out. Or no strike here would also finish this off in the first, but not done yet, says Haley Sickles. 5 pins here by Audie, and Grand Island takes game number 1. And that'll do it. So nice job by Audie Ernest. She's their ace, their co-captain, averages 204 on the year, not far behind. Is this freshman, Haley Sickles, averages 193. She's very steady up the boards. Solid game.
Grand Island Wood River, a team that's been battling with some injuries. They've had shoulder injuries, kids with back injuries, but really a team that came together to support each other, boost each other, and cover for those teammates who were recovering from some injuries.
$162-146 in game number 1. Grand Island takes the early lead. 1 game to none in this best of 5 Bakers showdown. Grand Island came in after qualifying as the number 3 seed. Fremont led qualifying, so in terms of total score and seeding, Fremont was the number 1 seed. They knocked off Lincoln Southeast and then beat Lincoln Pius the 10th, 3 games to none. Grand Island, meanwhile, beat Scottsbluff Gearing and upset number 2 seed Columbus 3 games to 1 to make it here to these televised finals. Solid shot there by Hannah Bates.
Both Hannah Bates and Andrea Rhodes here up for Grand Island are looking to go into education. Hannah's heading to the University of Illinois in a couple of years, wants to major in music education, while Andrea is going to head to UNO next year, after her senior year next year, and is going to major in elementary education.
Both marked to open up the game for their respective teams. High leaves the baby split. 3-10. Lakota Erbauer crosses over and leaves a 5-9. Both with somewhat. Grand Island's 5th trip here to the finals. 3rd consecutive. They won it back in 2016. Grand Island Wood River beat Lincoln Southeast to win the title. Last year they were back here, lost a heartbreaker in 5 to Kearney. Just wraps around the 10 pin. And Grand Island now for the 3rd consecutive year here in the finals. Chops the 5 off of the 9, not difficult to do. North Star, in case you're wondering, has the all-time Class A title lead with 5 state championships. North Star made the finals but lost in the first round to Columbus. North Star also has been in the championship televised finals 5 times. They've never lost in the televised finals.
Grace, the senior here, carries a 4.0 GPA. Talked about how she loves the sport because she loves getting the opportunity to meet so many people, and feels like she's going to walk away from bowling this senior year with not just friends, but a family.
Needs to hook, and it does. Covers the 10. That gives Grand Island the lead here after 3 frames. That's a good trip. Fremont with the strike. Right back at you, says Rapp. Kaylee Rapp. She struck twice in 3 shots.
Kaylee's got a high game of 268 and a high series of 760. Not a bad high series.
That came in just a bit high at the end. Audie Ernest. Great ball by Ernest. It's 10 in the pit, and the double extends that Islander lead. Good decision to get 2. 2 is 4 there. They were on a strike, so the pin count was important.
Pin count such a tremendous requirement, I guess, in this sport, because you're not going to strike on every one of your first balls, but covering those spares is really key to bringing up your score and staying competitive. There's no offense or defense in bowling, so the best way to approach a situation is to look for a spare.
Apparently one of those pins fell. So we saw the split. One of those fell late. We didn't catch that because she only had 2 remaining and she picked up the spare. So it wasn't about count. It was an important spare in a match in which they're down by 20. So a big break there to get that one out. And nice cover there for Fremont. 3 consecutive spares for Fremont here in game number 2. Now off of the double, here is Andrea Rhodes to try to convert. Good shot, needs to hook. Just kind of quit there, hit the middle of the lane. High volume of oil did not react. A bit too much skid.
Mary Lynn Lewis is also involved, besides bowling, is also involved in the musical at school. She's in band and choir also, so not only talented in bowling, but musically talented as well.
Crossover for Lakota leaves the 3 pin. rattles that from behind, and Urbauer will have that. With the spare, the 3 spares in a row, Fremont has cut that lead back to 7 pins. An important one here to keep the pressure on, and she gets it. So now Urbauer will need to answer. They risk losing the lead. And she does. Tight game here, 7-pin advantage for the Islanders. They're up 1-0 here in this best of 5 match. The crossover there by Alexis Mueller. Cadwalder up on the right lane now. Grace Cadwalder. That was a really nice shot. It's going to be a little light. She'll probably stand to move about 3 and 2, right? 4 and 3 maybe. It's just she's playing more middle of the lane than what you want to on a fresh house shot here at Sun Valley Lanes. They do rerun these lanes after every match, so they're rolling on fresh oil.
Yeah, she's throwing a good shot. Just needs to make an adjustment in where she's throwing that good shot.
That does get across to cover, so nice move there. 4-pin lead for Grand Island.
Caitlin Hill for Fremont is not only involved in bowling with this team, but she's also a member of her school's unified team, which pairs Special Olympic athletes with non-Special Olympic athletes and gives all of them an opportunity to compete together on a team and represent their school. Great program.
It's a terrific program. 2nd year of that being sanctioned by the Nebraska School Activities Association. Dan Masters does such a terrific job with that program and leading it for the NSAA. Good cover here by the Tigers. Caitlin Hill gives her team an opportunity as they head into the 10th frame. Now, an important spare here for Kaylee Rapp to hold on to this lead. It's a corner pin, not easy, needs to slide. And that opens the door for Fremont to even this at 1 apiece. Whatever the pin count here, it will likely be Fremont taking the lead, and it is! Big shot by the freshman Sickles. Now Audie Ernest needs to answer. Big shot here, crosses over, leaves the 3-pin. So count is all that Fremont will need now.
Haley Sickles, one of 2 freshmen on the team, carries the highest average on the team with a 193. And Coach Trevor Mueller talked about how she has really stepped up this year and is really going to be the future leader of the Fremont girls Tiger bowling team.
And that's enough. So Fremont will take game number 2 and come from behind fashion. As you talk about the importance of being clean, Fremont did not open over the last 7 frames. 7 consecutive marks. Only 2 strikes in there. They didn't string them together, so it was really about just staying clean, picking up their spares, and they shoot 172 here in game number 2, and we are all even at 1 game apiece between Grand Island and Fremont.
You know, strikes are fun to watch, but spares are where it's at.
Yep.
If you want to win a championship, you got to stay clean with your spares.
.172, 162 in game number 2, even at 1 apiece. Grand Island and Fremont. Fremont will start off this 3rd game. It'll be Hannah Bates leading the way.
Hannah, another one who's involved in lots of other activities at school, also in choir and band and music, carries a 4.125 GPA and is a trombone player.
Nice shot there for Hannah as she has marked in 4 consecutive frames. She got off to that rough start, fouled, and came back and had 8. Since then, she's gone spare strike, spare strike. It's once again starts off Fremont in this 3rd game with the all-important mark.
Needs to get up.
Week 10, by that we mean it did not drive through the pins. And that 6-pin, which will typically wrap around and carry the 10, just kind of sat right in front of the 10. It laid there, did not knock out the 10. That's typically an indication of either you tugged it just a little bit and sat in the oil, or maybe you need to move right a little bit.
That's one thing that these coaches help these players understand is the way that the pins react is an indication to you of what you need to do. When you leave something like a week 10, Larry, like you said, it's not a fluke, right? There's something that caused that to happen. And so it calls for an adjustment, whether it's a ball adjustment or where you're going to throw the ball in the lane. But it's something to be considered for next time.
I've always found that even on a strike where you get 10, you can learn off of that shot. If you really focus in and watch the reaction of the ball all the way through the pit. So in other words, watch this ball hit, and what does it do after it hits the head pin? It went right a little bit. So that's an opportunity to learn from that shot and stay ahead of the move, adjust before the lane starts to transition. And you can stay ahead of moves, and that's really what the high-end bowlers are doing and having opportunity to continue to be successful.
Absolutely. One of the things that coaches who are sort of proactive like that do is not only do they track whether or not an athlete struck or spared, but they also track, did they hit the pocket to get that? Was it a high hit on the pocket? Was it a light hit on the pocket? So that they have more data, more information for what to do next time. Knowing that they struck isn't enough. You got to know how that strike happened.
Caitlin Hill right in the pocket. Cannot get that 4-pin to trip forward. We're all even through 2. Both teams with a mark and an open. Here's a good shot. Leaves the 7-pin as it looks like maybe Cadwalder made a bit of a move outside, just not enough. She's still coming in light. You'd like to see her make that transition, that move back outside of 2-1 right move maybe. That might be enough. It might need to be a 3 with your feet, 2 with your eyes right. Would say, well, wait a minute, the ball's coming in light. Why do you want to move right? You want to move in the direction the ball misses, especially on a house shot. You want to get out into the drier part of the lane.
Well, and another factor that sometimes it's easy to miss is the fact that we're under the TV lights, right? So it's hot.
Absolutely.
So sometimes the oil reacts in a little bit of a different way when you're under TV lights and those hot lights that are kind of playing with the oil a little bit differently than on a normal day.
Back-to-back single pin misses by Grand Island has given Fremont the early lead again, and now right through the nose goes Rupp. And throws her head back in disgust as she leaves the very difficult 4-6. Haley Sickles converts on the spare. So Fremont 4 marks in the first 5 frames here in game number 3. Rupp gets 1. So it is a 20-pin lead right now for Fremont. And Audie Ernest back up for Grand Island Wood River.
Audie's a 2-time Pepsi champion, planning on attending either Hastings College or Northeast Community College. Isn't quite sure what she wants to study, but she knows she wants to do something with coaching.
Audie is a senior. She is from Wood River, so she attends Wood River High School, the one Wood River student on this Grand Island team, which is why they go by Grand Island Wood River. Your school doesn't have enough individuals or players to fill a team. She gets the 2-8 the hard way.
The hard way.
Yeah. If school doesn't have enough players, you can co-op with another team. It typically bumps up your attendance.
Most schools in Nebraska are within 10-mile radius or so of the about 85 bowling centers in Nebraska. So even if there's not one in your local community, there's likely one nearby and likely a team nearby that you can be a part of.
So we switch to the back half now as the 2 teams switch lanes after 5 frames in this Baker format. It's always good. I like the way Sun Valley does their Baker, where you switch after 5 because no one team is going to get an advantage of bowling an entire game on one lane. So many times you find one lane may be scoring a little higher than another lane, and if you bowl your entire game on one lane and you're the lucky team that gets to bowl your 3rd game of a 5-game match.
Absolutely. I've been seen and been a part of many matches where you sort of figure out pretty quickly who's going to win because it seems like one lane is
always
striking
has the
more.
high score.
Yeah, it's like, okay, who's going to end on the left lane? Okay, that's the team that's going to take it, because when you're pretty evenly matched athletically, and your scores are typically about the same. Sometimes what it can come down to, unfortunately, is the lane that you end on.
I want to say we saw that in one of the NCAA championship matches involving the Nebraska women's team one year, where there was one lane that was scoring significantly higher, and every time the team got to that lane, they were winning, and Nebraska ended up losing 4-3 in a 7-game best-of-7 match.
And it's just a heartbreaker because you don't want to make the excuse, right? You don't want to say, oh, it was the lane, but
it was the lane.
It was the lane.
That's so true.
But you're right. The way that this one is structured to have the team split the game helps. Split was maybe a bad word there.
Crosses over, leaves the 5.
Those are the types of shots where you end up with a 9 count, which is, second best count that you can get, but it went left, right? So there's some adjustments that still need to be made on that shot.
Fremont still with the lead even after that open in the 7th frame. Big shot there. Now down by just 9 pins is Grand Island. And Alexis Mueller really needs this spare. And she covered it.
Alexis is a 4.13 GPA student, member of several National Honor Societies, National Honor Society, German Honor Society, Honors Math, Honors English, smart cookie.
Kaylee Rapp there comes up a bit light, leaves a weak 10 pin. So Caitlin Hill now on the right lane. Caitlin Hill, just a freshman. She has a nice game. And she slaps out that 10 pin. Big shot for Fremont there as they hold on to a 10-pin lead with a strike working in the 9th. And now, really important spare, and Rapp covers it up. Really needed that one in the 9th frame. So a 10-pin advantage. A double here would make it tough for Grand Island. Ooh, what a great shot, and that's more of a ringing 10 as opposed to a weak 10. You saw that 6 explode around the 10-pin. Just did not kick it off the wall. And an opportunity steer here for Grand Island. A must strike for Audie right here. Has to strike. And the 3-10. Important spare. Sickles needs this. Needs to hook. Good cover by the freshman.
She talked about her concentration being one of her strengths, and that's definitely something that played a nice positive factor for her there, trying to pick up that 10-pin to keep her team alive.
171, the best. Check that, 161. The best that Grand Island can have if she picks that up, and she did. So Grand Island can still shoot 161, but already Fremont at 163. So the Tigers have come from behind to take games 2 and 3, and Fremont is on top. 2 games to 1 here in this best-of-5 championship. 171 for Fremont. And after the strike, 161 for Grand Island. 2 games to none lead, Fremont on top. Last 2 games have been solid, 172, 171. Grand Island has been steady throughout, 162, 162, 161. Fremont rebounded from the early struggles when they went open to lead off game number 1. They've rebounded and now lead it 2 games to 1 as we head to what could be a 4th and deciding if Fremont wins it.
It's a situation for Grand Island. You're now down 2-1. Kind of looking for how do we get ourselves back into this, because it's not over yet.
Well, sports fans, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other Nebraska network. For more information on dates, times, and available webcasts, just visit netsports.org/sports. That comes in light, and that further difficult with that washout. Here's Bates. Got the carry. Bates has had a nice match. She has gone strike, spare, strike, strike, strike in her last 5 shots. 4 strikes in her last 5, and she's only opened once, and that was the very first frame of the first game when she went foul and 8. Great cover there. Nice recovery by Andrea Rhodes, the junior. Give your team a little bit of momentum. Unless, of course, Marilyn Lewis can drop a double on it. Comes in light.
Lakota Erbauer up for Grand Island. Wood River credits her late sister Cheyenne Erbauer for being the one who really pushed her into bowling. She's her inspiration, somebody that she remembers and really bowls for her spirit and her remembrance.
One of the tragedies that happened in the bowling community just a little more than a year ago. Chop the 5 off of the 2-4. And the open for Fremont. Good cover by Grand Island.
Several of these players on the Grand Island team credit Cheyenne's memory as something that really inspires them and pushes them to be better. They say that this season is still for her. It's something that really, they want to keep her memory alive.
She was killed in a car accident. Cadwalder with the strike, and that's the 3rd consecutive mark here in game number 4. So Grand Island, the Islanders doing everything they can to push this to a deciding 5th. Good cover by Fremont, down by 10. 2-8 left for Rapp, and Rapp just hasn't been able to move far enough right yet. She continues to come up light.
She talks about being consistent, so she has one. If she can make a move,
right,
she can use that consistency to her advantage. Kaylee is involved with her local Humane Society as a dog walker.
And I'm sure Coach Brad Ernest and Don Prawl are telling her, make a move, make an adjustment, 2-1 right. If you continue to come up a little bit light, and if you just make that small adjustment in where you're targeting, we'll have some significantly different results.
Both of these head coaches, Coach Donald Prawl and Coach Trevor Mueller of Fremont, are bronze level coaches. They really take seriously their role as coach, and not only organizing the team, but also improving the game of these bowlers, helping them learn solid fundamentals and the mental side of the game, how to read a lane, how to choose a ball.
Worth mentioning that that's the sanctioning body of bowling coaches, the USBC, United States Bowling Congress, who offers multiple levels of bowling coach certification. They have bronze level, silver level, gold level, and you have to be very high end to be a gold level coach. I believe they even have one after that now that has just recently been created.
Is that platinum?
Is it?
Is it? I don't know.
Master's platinum, something. So they'll switch sides here as we are midway through game number 4, and we've got a tight one. Grand Island on top by just 3. Fremont working on a strike. So an opportunity for Hannah Bates, who's been the hottest bowler for Fremont. A strike here gives the Tigers the lead. Looking for another one. Boy, she's been good. That is 4 straight strikes for Hannah Bates.
When Coach Trevor Mueller of the Tigers said that Hannah's always really focused, always wants to bowl, and is really wanting to bowl any tournament that she possibly can. And so it looks like her tournament experience is really helping her in this high pressure situation.
Rhodes crosses over. So the double gives the Tigers back the lead. And here's an opportunity now for Mary Lynn Lewis to make it 3 in a row. Good shot. Got the 10 pin out. Just leaves the 4-7. Now a 6-pin lead for Fremont.
Andrea Rhodes up for the Islanders has a high game of 252.
Good cover by Grand Island. Solid pickup for Marilyn Lewis.
Lakota carries a 3.62 GPA and is also a member of the trap team for Grand Island.
Alexis Mueller, big shot for Mueller. And they all get a little bit bigger as you get down here near the end. If they can stay clean, they could walk their way into this. Big shot for Lakota now. Can she kick it over there? Does not. And that's going to open the door even further and extend that lead now to a 22-pin lead in Fremont with a strike working. An opportunity here to double up. This almost would put it away. 5-9 left for Caitlin Hill. So on the right lane, here's Cadwalder. Grace trying to get Grand Island back into this. She's still playing so deep in the middle. Got lucky to mix them up and trip that 2-pin forward, but would love to see her get outside of 10, right? She's playing right around 13, maybe 12. And a good cover.
Kaylee wrap up for the Grand Island Wood River Islanders.
Well, that's a much better shot. It looks like she did make a move that time, or at least got better reaction if she didn't move. Make a slight adjustment right. Week 10. 180 already for Fremont. That was a must spare. So now, here's the situation. If the freshman Haley Sickles picks this up, Fremont wins a state title. And that'll do it. Already a 181. The best Grand Island can have is 180. Even if Audie were to strike out, and she does throw the first one. 180, the best possible for Grand Island. Already Fremont, without throwing another shot, has a 181. So the Tigers have won their second state championship. And you see the
do they know
smiles
it?
and recognition. I think they do. I think they understand. Opportunity here for Grand Island to get in a bowler who maybe hasn't played yet. Brittany Baker, the junior. So they will let Brittany finish out here, and then the final shot of the match will be thrown by the freshman for Fremont, Haley Sickles.
Bright future for Haley, just a freshman.
Yeah. So they close it out with a 169, does Grand Island, but it won't be enough as Fremont is clean once again in the back 8 frames. 8 consecutive marks to close it out, and Fremont wins that school's second state championship. Congratulations to the Tigers. When we come back, medal and trophy presentation. We'll also give them the pin. Smiles all around from Fremont as they're state champs here in Class A. We'll be right back.
All right, college visit number 2. Here we go. What?
College visit.
Learn more from Education Quest at govisitcollege.org.
The values that Methodists bring is family.
It's important going through school that you're not just a number, that you're a face and that you're a name to a teacher. And so I loved the small class sizes.
What it means to me is that I found my foundation where I can build on my passion and I can embrace something new in my life. It is a place where I know that I'm supposed to be.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that over 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
So welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes. There is your final. Fremont takes the final 3 games to win it 3-1 over Grand Island. Let's go down to Carla. She's with the champs.
Thanks, Larry. Hannah, congratulations. And your last 6 shots, 5 of them were strikes, including 4 strikes in a row. Tell me what was going through your mind on some of those big shots.
Well, I just really wanted to win for the team, and I was very, very nervous. I've never been on TV, never done anything big like this. So I was just like, I have to win this.
You were able to. Congratulations. Coach, you have a strong tradition on the boys' side. You have a young team. This is your first title since 2009. You must be really excited about the future of this girls' team.
Yeah, they're great. We haven't been able to field the teams because not having enough high school girls. And a lot of these girls have been bowling since they were 5 or 6 together, and they've been dreaming about bowling together. And Alexis is a senior this year, and they've been looking forward to this and talking about it for years. So their dream came true. So proud of them.
Good. Congratulations. Larry, back to you.
All right. Thanks very much, Carla. Congrats again to Fremont. The school's second girls' state championship. They won it in 2009 over Lincoln Southeast, and their first since then. So now let's go to Dwayne. He has medal and trophy presentations. Our public address announcer, Dwayne DeMode.
And now for your awards presentation. Your Class A girls runner-up, the Grand Island Islanders. Head coach Donald Prohl, assistant coach Brad Ernest. Andrea Rhodes. Lakota Erbauer. Grace Cadwalder. Kaylee Rapp. Audie Ernest. Brittany Baker. Ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the Grand Island Islanders. Your Class A girls runner-up. Now, here is your 2017 Class A girls state champions, the Fremont Tigers. Coach Trevor Mueller. Hannah Bates. Marilyn Lewis. Caitlin Hill. Lexus Mueller. Haley Sickles. Ladies, here's your championship trophy. Congratulations to your 2017 Class A Girls State Champion, the Fremont Tigers.
Well, congratulations to the Tigers from Fremont, your Class A champs, and what a finish there for the sophomore who you just got done chatting with, Hannah Bates, who had 4 strikes in a row to finish that match, 5 of her last 6 to hand Fremont that championship. Fremont knocks off Grand Island. The final is 3-1. Hey, Wanda, thanks for joining us all morning. It's been a great day here of 4 state champions being crowned. We started this morning bright and early in Class D when Ravenna knocked off Plainview 3-1. Broken Bow was a champ over Burwell Ord 3-1. Waverly picked up that school's second state championship, knocking off Lexington 3-0. And here, Fremont wins its second state championship as well, 3-1 over Grand Island. So that'll do it for the girls' state championships. I'm Larry Putney for Caleb Vandermeer and our entire NET Sports production crew. Thanks so much for joining us here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. We'll see you next time.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that over 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Have you ever wondered what happens to soybeans after they're harvested? Every year, soybean farmers invest a portion of their soybean revenue to fund research, marketing, and promotion, which is called the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. 80% of the harvested soybeans are crushed into soybean meal that's used to feed poultry and livestock. The other 20% is made into soybean oil that's used for cooking oil and biodiesel. To learn more about the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, nebraskasoybeans.org.
The quantity of incredible pieces that they have in their collecting. They're just the best example of generous collectors in the United States, and they just happen to be in Omaha, Nebraska. It's pretty exciting.
The new season of Nebraska Stories begins January on NET.
December 31st will be here before you know it. Like many people, you may be considering how to make a donation before the end of the year. Giving stock to NET could be just the answer. Gifts of appreciated stock may bring you tax savings even as you support your favorite NET programs. To see if a donation of stock is right for you, contact your broker or call me at 402-470-6351 for more information.
If you're looking to eat better, feel better, move more, and save more, then a full day of self-improvement programs may be just what the doctor ordered. Join NET December 31st for a new year and a new you marathon beginning at 8 a.m. Central. Make 2018 your best year yet with NET.
This is NET, Nebraska's PBS station.